So recently I came across Nike. I was watching Nike ads that they put out on YouTube, and I saw Odell Beckham Jr. Nike commercial. In the video, OBJ talks about how it's only a one minute ad, but he talks about how he wants to be legendary, and he felt like he hadn't done enough in his career.
Honestly, it sounds crazy enough, but I don't feel like I've done anything really.
And it ends with him saying he wants to be legendary. But throughout the whole middle process, it shows like from him in his high school days to getting drafted or going to a college and drafted into the NFL to play for the Giants.
He's going to LSU. All right. He wants to be a wide receiver, so midfield. He breaks a tackle. Wide receiver, LSU. Unbelievable.
And even though he had done all these crazy things, like his one-hand grabs and the amount of work that he was putting in to get to the point where he's at, he still felt like he hadn't done enough. And at first, for me, I started to look at when I watched that ad initially, I thought he was just doing it by himself, like, because the whole ad was literally just about him, and it just highlighted all his achievements that he had gotten along his career path. But once I kept rewatching the ad because it was pretty motivational, and then I started to realize the ad, I feel like, was saying something more than just being alone. He has teammates, he has coaches, he has his family when he was picking where he wanted to go, and I started to realize it's not about being alone, but really it's a team that's pushing you to get you to the next stages in your life.
I want to be legendary.
How in the world? My goodness.
He said he wanted to be legendary. I thought that was a journey that you take alone. Only you can be legendary. So my mind was focused on, oh man, if you put in all this work, hard work by yourself, you get to a point where at least he was at, in which for a while everyone was talking about him. But really that was really just a side portion. Of course individually you have to train hard, but really the people behind you, the team that you have behind you, is what pushes you to be great. My brain started to cycle through all the other motivational videos that I've watched, and I went back to Eliud Kipchoge. He's a long-distance marathon runner. He just won a marathon in London, actually.
Big champion is the world record holder.
So he recently embarked on a journey to try and break the 2-hour marathon mile, and basically no human has ever done it before. The closest people would get would be 2 hours and a couple minutes, and Nike set out on a journey essentially to try and beat the 2-hour mark.
In order to go sub 2, we need to take 7 seconds per mile off the speed that the current world record was run at.
We're asking the athletes to cover 26.2 miles in 2 hours. That's 4 minutes and 34 seconds per mile. This is insanely fast.
What was interesting in this documentary was Nike instead totally scrapped the idea of being alone, and instead got a lot of scientists and performance people together to try and take on this task of running under 2 hours. So they got pacers for the runners.
In most major marathons, they have pacers to set the pace. So we're optimizing pacers in our race for draft. So they're going to run in a triangle formation, because the amount of energy required to run behind this triangle formation is going to be significantly less than if the runner was by themselves.
There were always people around them, or they'd reach a certain distance. There were people that were motivating them on the sides to keep on running.
We are knocking on the door.
They even had coaches riding bikes next to them. They had a car in front of them so they could see the goal that they're trying to get, and pace that they're trying to meet. Eliud Kipchoge said a really great quote.
Remember, in here in our camp, we normally say 1% of the whole team is really important than 100% of yourself. That's teamwork, and without teamwork, then we cannot go anywhere.
So then this made me think of back recently. Just finished the semester, so we were studying for a class called Cell and Molecular Biology, and this class was pretty difficult. And towards the final, there was a lot of information we had to cover, and my friend Clayton and I decided to study together for this final. It's crazy because like I've known him all of college, but like we never seriously studied for finals like together, like quizzing each other back and forth. And like we went pretty in depth with our review. Like we invited some other people to come along, and we were just bouncing ideas off each other, asking questions. Like we would study something, ask a question, and see if the other person could answer it, and vice versa. And essentially, we over prepared for this test, but that was the best kind of preparation that you need. Because when we took the test, we discussed it after we'd finished. We found out the test was a lot easier than we thought, and it was only because of how like hard we pushed each other to like stay motivated and like keep studying the material. So and like basically all throughout my college career, so I still have one more year left. To me, I like to study alone because I don't see a point in studying if I studying with a group if I don't understand what I'm trying to learn. Like, how can I contribute to the group when I myself don't know the material? So for me, studying was always an individual thing, something that I had to master and grasp, and then I would try and work, and then maybe attempt to work with the group. But we just took a different approach this time. We had a baseline knowledge of what the teacher had taught us, but we just decided to study together, and it paid off because my grade jumped a whole letter grade, and it was pretty crazy. So I'm fairly confident that we our over preparation and studying together helped us to clutch out the exam, because we felt definitely more than prepared as we were taking it. And then finally, this made me think of another ad that I saw. It was a PNG mom ad for Mother's Day, and I think it was around a particular Olympics that they decided to air this ad. The whole ad just highlights the how much dedication, time, and sacrifice that these moms were giving towards their kid, and their kids were athletes, allowing their kid to be great in whatever they became. And no matter if the kid failed or not in whatever task they were doing, or they got hurt, the moms were always there to comfort them and reassure them and keep them motivated. And this is this is one of the ads that kind of makes me cry. Because it really shows you how much parents sacrifice for their children, and because if you put all that time into something, you expect a result, and sometimes failure is inevitable, it's a part of life. But to be able to support your child, and then for them to reach a point that they didn't even think they would get to was pretty awesome. I also really liked in this video, it showed parents or people from all over the world, in different countries, and no matter, that's one thing I've always think about now, is no matter how different we are, ethnicity, the cultures we come from, we're all human. That's what binds us together. We're all able to feel the same emotions of anger, sadness, pain, joy, happiness. And I really like seeing that video, because to us, we look at the world from our lens, our own lens, and we also limit how big the world is, because when you're in a constant routine of doing the same thing, you only, I guess it's easy to limit your brain to just what you can see. But just if you go 50 miles, 100 miles, 1,000 miles, 10,000 miles across, you know, wherever you go, there's different people living a different life. And I feel like sometimes we may forget that. It's not in the back of our minds that there are other people going through pretty similar situations. So like, yeah, PNG really highlighted that, and that really like stuck out to me. Recently, I took a trip that essentially changed my life, and I feel like a new person. And one of the strongest things I guess I learned from the trip was a sense of community. I guess I didn't really have the sense of community of being with people that are like-minded and thought like me. In all of these videos, it reminded me that like community is what's gonna like push you. Like the people around you are what's gonna make you greater. Even when I was studying for my exam, like the people that we were with motivated us to want to do better and wanted study harder to get, you know, good grades on our exams. So it's the people around us really strengthened us to become great. And just like Odell said, he wants to be legendary. I feel like that's the mindset that we should all have. Like with the right people and then enough motivation, like everybody can be legendary.
No human is limited. That's my message.